Hi everyone, it's Natalie here. Welcome to my channel. And I'm getting ready to do the divination, the weekly, it's been a long week. The weekly tarot guidance. There we are, weekly tarot guidance. Eventually got it out. I did do a attempt to do a full moon reading. It wound up being, again, so complex and so overwhelming. And the video needed so many edits that I eventually had to make choices about time, energy, and getting a lot of other things accomplished and dealt with. And I had to choose to let it go this week. I'll just say it here. I'm probably going to make a little announcement at some point, but I've completely redone my Etsy shop. So I shut it down for a couple of weeks so that I could rebrand and really make my offerings reflect more of what I do. So I'm much, much happier with the way it looks now. It definitely reflects what I do and what I offer. And at the same time that I reopened the shop, I issued some coupon codes, and so I ended up selling a lot of readings in a very short period of time, a lot more than I normally would. So in addition to working and so forth, I was also trying to catch up with adding that to the list. So it's a little bit more under control at this point, and that is exciting. It's a good problem to have either way. So that said, here we are. And we're looking at the tarot guidance for the week starting the 27th of June all the way through the 3rd of July. So right before the holiday. So we're here at the end of Pride Month, and it doesn't feel like it's been Pride Month because there haven't really been any major Pride events or Pride parades and things in my local area. And I really have missed that over the last couple of years. It used to be really prevalent and prominent and beautiful and exciting. And so I wish a happy Pride to all of my friends out there who belong to the LGBTQ plus community, and to anyone else who is a lover and supporter of anyone who is from that community. So that said, we want to pull the first card to look at the main energy that's going to be with us over the coming week. So the card that best represents the energy that will be surrounding us all week long. Okay. Wow, the star. Okay. So interesting, very interesting. The reason why, so let's see. In the Tibetan Mo, yeah, part of the prediction for the coming time period, like what are we letting go of at the time of the full moon, is this type of energy, the energy that just kind of knocks the tower to the ground, right? There's something about this that reminds me a little bit of the tower, even though it's not fire and lightning. You know, it's a tower that's being worn away at kind of in a painfully slow but vicious way. And yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So, you know, there's hope on the horizon. So I think this week we can say that the feeling of hope, the sense that we're able to go out and start rebuilding our lives, rebuilding our careers, rebuilding social lives, rebuilding relationships with people that have had to kind of be on the back burner during the pandemic, is going to start to become a beautiful aspect of what we're doing. Yeah. There's hope. There's a lot of hope. There's a sense that that everything's going to be better, that it's going to be okay. So that is the energy that's most prevalent that we're taking with us through the week. The way that Benebell phrases it in her books is, you know, what spirit is going to be with us over the coming week, because each card for Benebell has a particular spirit attached to it. But I would say, too, that it's equally valid to say, what is the energy? And, you know, I doubt she would disagree. You know, she's pretty open about like, yeah, you know, you, do your thing, see it the way you're seeing it. So that's the star. Now, on to our main focus for the week. So this will be the thing that will need our focused attention and effort this coming week. Ooh, the Ace of Bells. So, something new. Something new. We're starting something new. We're taking on new efforts, a new frame of mind, a new way of understanding, ourselves in the world. I know that doesn't typically accompany, this is be the Ace of Swords in most decks. I love that it's bells. There's something very resonant. There's a new frequency, a new way of engaging with the world around us that is going to require our focus. We're building and creating new things, and a lot of that is starting with us. It's starting with our mindset, our frame of mind. So I feel like we also just need to spend more time paying close attention to the thoughts that we have, to our attitudes, our beliefs, the ways that those are shaping the things around us and affecting the people around us. Yeah, the prediction for this week with the Mo is rah-rah, which is very fiery, right? Adding butter to the flames. There's power. It also rules the voice and sound, so that's interesting to me that the bells is what came up, because those yellow lines are like the resonant sound of the bell. Swords also involve communication. This is the core of it. So it's the seed energy of this particular suit. So everything that comes about in the suit, it's like it comes or arises out of the seed that's planted, right, in the ace. So any mind activities, what seeds do we want to plant? What seeds do we want to plant? Sometimes the way that we plant seeds is by speaking our intentions, giving our intentions voice. We can manifest through the throat, through the voice, by speaking what it is that we intend, what we plan, what we want. That needs to be our focus moving forward. Beautiful way to see things. If you think like, oh, look, there's new things, there's new possibilities, there's a way to build something new. Now we have to put that to work, and maybe in a more basic form. But if we're putting it to work in any form, we're doing the right thing. Yeah. All right. So that's that. Let's see then what we need to be mindful or aware of in the coming week. Oh, the Nine of Tomes. I think we need to be aware of the ways in which comfort has gotten a hold of us and stopped us from really being willing or able to try something new. We have all of this history, we have all of this background, we have all of the things that we've learned and taken in. How are we going to apply it? How do we want to apply it? Let's see. How do I put these together with this one? Probably this way. So we look at all three of these guys together. I hope this is coming across the right way. If what we're looking at, if this is the energy that's with us, the star, that's really major, right? Get it? It's really major. So we have this wonderful opportunity to build anew, right? To create anew. Then we have this wonderful energy too that's asking us to focus our intent here, which is what new things do we create, and and how do we want to create them? How do we give voice to the things that we want to build? That's got to take our attention this week. So we need to be mindful of the ways in which we might fall back on what we know, because actually stepping out and doing something new is hard. It's hard. So for some of us, that's going to be the sticking point. For others of us, it might be looking at, if we're going to build new things and give voice to them, of course, we're going to rely and depend upon all of the knowledge, all of the skills, all of the things that we've had in the past that have served us really, really well. So the key is really, how can I take all of these things that I know, take the knowledge, the learning, the wisdom, and find the way to apply them to something new. Because we can't manifest it without doing that, right? So where there are new things to learn, could be about learning, right? It's a sword, could be about learning. If it's about learning, then what we need to be mindful of is really enjoying the ride, probably. It's really just enjoying the ride. Be mindful of that this is something you've chosen. If what you're doing, if this new thing is a new learning experience, a new course, something new that's to do with acquiring a skill, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Yeah. So again, for some of us, this one's going to be about get out of your comfort zone. For some of us, it's going to be about, taking what we know already and finding the way to apply it to something new. And then for some of us who are learning something new, we need to learn to enjoy the learning process. And remember too, that you've also got this basis of knowledge and success behind you on some level, right? So if learning scares you, and a lot of times it does scare people. I was a teacher for, I still really am, I guess. But formally and full time, I was a teacher for like 17 years. And that's hard, right? It's hard to be a learner. And so I used to put myself in the position of being a learner as often as I could so that I could really identify with what my students were experiencing in terms of the fear, the trepidation, the vulnerability, But remember, you've got everything you need. You've got everything you need to learn something new and to be successful. Yeah. Okay, and then I feel like it would only be appropriate to draw an oracle card from the Threadbound Oracle, which is a deck I absolutely love. It doesn't come with. It's made by the same creator, Cedar McLeod. I am going to need to shuffle this one, however, because I pre-shuffled the other one and then did not think to pre-shuffle this one. So I'll do that now. Oh, look at that. I love it. I love that. Okay. So the message here being, you're the author of your own story. You're the author of your own story. Yeah. Higher powers, devotion, and spirituality. So that falls in harmony very deep, even with the colors. Look at those colors. They're perfect together. Yeah. Ooh, I love how those two cards go together, right? So the star reminds us that we are the author of our own path, our own story. We create what we want in the world. We've got the energy, we've got the right conditions for us to create and build. That is also supported very, very much by our Mo divination for this week, right? Which focuses on power and fire and creativity, the spark of something new, and giving voice to something. Authorship, voice, words goes beautifully with the bell, right? Or the swords. Swords are communication. They are their communication, words, written. Anything that has to do with writing, obviously. So again, authorship. It also is brain fart. Electronic devices, right? Anything to do with electronic devices, phones, cell phones, computers, laptops, etc. This also tells me, too, if you're looking to replace, this just popped into my mind, we're out of the worst of the retrograde in Mercury. So if right now is something, if this is a time period where you feel the need to replace those, new objects could be purchased right now. Yeah, it would be it's a good time. It's favorable. It's favorable. So there's that. But yeah, it's also a good time to speak your words if you want to start a new project to do with writing, to do with anything that improves that sense of authorship or control, power over your own life, your own story of your life. All of that is very favorable under this influence. And finally, overlapping of books and tomes. So, with all of these stories being told, right, something else to be mindful of that I hadn't considered until this card. If we are the author of our own lives, right, and we are on a great level, sometimes it's possible to find ourselves surrounded in a library, metaphorical library of the stories that others tell about us, right? Which influence the way that we view ourselves. So if you're attempting to try something new, to build something new, be cautious, be aware that you're not being held back in any way by the stories that other people tell about you. Challenge your thoughts, challenge your notions of who you are. I'm trying to think of a good example. I've been expunging a lot of these stories of late. And I'd worked so hard on it in therapy for years that when I finally got rid of all of the junk, the physical junk and detritus from the basement project, a lot of that is just gone, and it's hard to even remember, because that was the last step, was just to get rid of it. But where there's a story that someone's told about you that is not, doesn't have your permission, get rid of it. Don't be held inside of a mental prison of someone else's authorship of who you are, right? Take ownership of your own story, your own life. Yeah. All right. So that is the energy of the coming week, everyone. There's a lot. It's a little intense, a lot of fire. Interestingly, none of that fire showed up in the form of the cards that we got for the reading, but there we go. All right. Sometimes the story has to be told through other elements, I guess. Yeah. So take care, and I will see you again next time, if not sooner. Bye.